Good evening, guys. Happy Saturday to all of your sunshiny faces. Good news is, guys, that our back room, the bedroom that we've been waiting on to get the floors done, is finally finished officially. And by around noon tomorrow, it will be like 100% done. Just because of the clear coat they ended up putting on, has to take about like 2 to 24 hours. Even though it's really dry, like we kind of walked on it and stuff like that, it's not, you know, again too, we don't want to like move the furniture in there and stuff like that we have to until it's really been like the 24 hours that we need to wait and stuff. But I would show you guys the floor. It's just the lighting in there is kind of bad. It's kind of weird right now, so I feel like I should probably wait until it's like during the day and the lighting looks really good, because it does look really good in the natural lighting, because of the back door that's back there. It lets in so much light, and the floors are so bright now that it just makes it look so like good. So like I said, it looks really, really pretty. I think they did a really great job in saving the floors. Genuinely, guys, you have to see a before picture before you can truly appreciate the after photos. And just the absolute mess that was that back room. It had the worst floors in the entire house, and they were the natural hardwood, like real hardwood flooring. And I think I was telling you guys how when we first moved in, there was carpet. Then my mom decided she wanted to tear the carpet up. Then it had like the floors that were stained, but they were not stained like probably very recently, so they were already kind of like worn, like they needed to be restained. So instead, my mom was like, let's just paint the floors. So she ended up painting them red. And the other reason too, though, was because the dogs, like, you know, the back door's there, so when we take the dogs out, they run through there. Well, over time, that ended up, like, the paint then ended up chipping. So it was like, well, now we have to sand the paint down. And instead, we're like, you know what? Let's just not do that. Let's just throw some carpet tiles over the top of it, which are sticky adhesive carpet tiles. So everything was sticking when we ended up taking them up. I think we took them up, like, in Christmas, because we were kind of expecting that things were going to be moving a little bit faster. But I kind of explained to you guys too that the contractor we had doing our other work, we ended up moving on from, and we ended up going with my cousin, who actually just started working for this new company, and he's like, you know, learning everything pretty much, you know, firsthand, is working with a you know, with a company. And so we ended up going with them, and, you know, to get the floors done. And like I said, they did an awesome job, but, you know, there was several days of work that had to go into it, because they had to take the adhesive up. They had to, you know, try and get the paint up off the ground. Like, it was just, you know, again, a multi-step project. But in the end, it turned out really awesome. And to actually have it done by this weekend too, like when they were like, oh, we'll be out on Monday. Like they said it last week. They were like, Monday. Goodness sakes, are you okay? Holy cow. Oh my goodness, Charlie. That was like a, yeah, I think you won an Olympic gold for that sneeze, Charlie. That was dramatic. Anyways, you still got a little bit left in you? Just a little sneeze that time. Anyways, guys, back to what I was saying. For the dog decided to interrupt me with his sneezing. I lost my train of thought now that the dog has distracted me from his sneezing. But with all the sneezing he's doing, are you okay? Like, you actually okay right now? It was so dramatic. And he was like sleeping, and then all of a sudden it was just this insanely loud noise. I thought he was like hurt or something. Anyways, so like I said, I kind of forgot what I was saying, but the flooring, and, you know, oh, so when they came, they were like, oh, we'll be out maybe Monday or Tuesday, or, you know, it might take like Monday, Tuesday, do the work, whatever. Kind of thought like, okay, they'll be out on Tuesday, maybe on Monday, possibly. They got here on Monday. They ended up coming back on Tuesday to work on more of the, you know, the floor and scraping up all of the sticky adhesive that was on it. Then they were like, oh, well, we might be back on Friday to maybe sand it. I thought like maybe sand it. I thought they might have to even do another coat of like the adhesive remover and, you know, strip, you know, like scrape the floor up and stuff like that. That's what I thought Friday was gonna be yesterday, but they didn't, and they finished the floors like yesterday, but they put the first coat of, you know, like the sealant, you know, or like the clear coat on, and then after that they ended up doing a the second coat today. So they had to come back after around, again, 24 hours after it set like the first coat. They had to do the second coat. So they ended up doing that today, and I was like, that's, you know, less than a week they got those floors done, which I was like, that's awesome. And originally they were like, we'd probably be able to get it done in around a day, you know, or like the bulk of the work or whatever. And like that's what I kind of thought. Like I kind of thought that, but I was like, it's a lot of work, like knowing that, you know, again, too, the adhesive stuff was on it. When they realized, you know, like this isn't gonna come up with the sander, we have to put, you know, stuff down to get it to come up. But like I said, they look so pretty. It makes the room look so big and bright, and it's just, it's really, really nice. So tomorrow though, Jack gets to move and we get to start painting the next room already, which again too feels like it's been forever, but the main thing we were waiting on was the floors in the other room, and they were also again too the most difficult floors to do. Like, had the floors in here, like, or you know, the floors that are in here looked like the floors that are in the other room, or had the same level of like care needed, it probably, we maybe would have tried to have done them ourselves, but just because of how difficult it was, and also too like having to rent the equipment and like all that kind of stuff, and not being insanely familiar with the whole process, my dad was like, let's just hire somebody to do it. And again too, we're gonna have the you know, contractor that we had do our upstairs stuff, the whole project we did over the summer last year, do the back room, but like I said, things ended up falling through. So again too though, there was an amount of time where like we thought that we were still gonna end up using them, and then ended up, you know, kind of trying to find somebody else, and it was just, it turned into kind of a bigger thing where, you know, again, this was a whole week project, which isn't that long, but it wasn't an easy project either. So you know, like I said, the fact that we were able to actually get it done and be like, wow, you know, before Monday, before even a week later, we're going to be able to get Jack moved now into that room and then get the next room started, which we already have quotes, or you know, my dad showed him like, you know, the stuff to do. They have to do some drywall work in the other room, and then also the floors in that room, and then the floors in here. So the only thing that's stressing me out right now majorly is the fact that my dad wants to try and get both rooms like done at the same time. So instead the plan was, oh well, Jack's in that room right now, we're gonna move him now into the finished room, which has the floors, the drywall work, the paint, you know, everything in that room's done. We just don't have the trim on right now, which we were gonna have them do, I think, or we weren't gonna have them do. Then my mom was like, yeah, have them do it, and then my dad was like, I'll do it, and now we're like, maybe we should have just had them do it. It was kind of our idea to be like, well, maybe we can just, you know, do it to cut a little bit of cost, because my dad can do the trim, but now it's kind of like, we maybe should have just, you know, like kind of to get the process done and finished and moving faster, done that. But anyway, so we're gonna get Jack moved into that room. Then when Jack's out of that room, we're going to paint, because we can't do the ceiling though until they fix the drywall work that has to be done in there. But we're going to paint. We also have to cut another hole into the ceiling to do some electrical work, because we're going to put in 2 lights instead of having the 1 light, because yeah, it like I said, it's another little bit of a whole process kind of thing. We also have to cut in another outlet in that room. Like I said, there's kind of a lot that has to go into it. So I want to try and beat the clock in getting the stuff done before they're like, oh, we're ready to come out and do the work. We want to have the walls done and the electrical work done. So we have to work like expedited pace. Not only that too, like I said, my dad also wants to try and get them to do these floors like at the same time. Like, you know, again too, they rent the equipment maybe over the course of a day or two, whatever, and then can get it done, instead of like being like, oh, we'll do that room and then in another week after that come out and do this room. Because because also too, if they pick up other projects and they have other stuff like work before us, then we might end up sitting on waiting on this room then again, you know. So it's like, let's try and just get all this stuff done at the same time. So all of my stuff and Jack's stuff in his room now have to be out. So we're gonna lose all of this room and all of that room at the same time because we have to have everything out of both of the rooms. So the stuff is going to have to, in my room, and Jack's stuff is gonna have to live in both the back room and the living room. Like, one of us is gonna be sleeping on a mattress in the living room for hopefully, again, no more than a week. Hopefully they're able to finish within about a week. Like, some of the stuff that they're gonna have to do, like the drywall work, we probably don't have to move me out of here while they're doing that. But once they do the floors, which will be after the drywall, then we will need to move me out so that they can do both the floors at the same time. So, like I said, it's gonna be fun because I haven't moved any of this furniture or any of the stuff out of here since I painted, like, I don't know, it was over 5 years ago. No, I think it was around 5 years ago, something 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, something like that. I don't know, it was a little while ago. I think it was 2017 that I ended up painting this room, and I moved everything out of here. And so, yeah, but I have stuff. I have a desk, I have a bed, I have, you know, not a ton of furniture, but I also just have stuff, and I gotta figure out where all that stuff is going, and it's like stressing me out. So, and like I said, this fact that we're losing the space, like, and my parents don't really have that much room upstairs to be able to store much upstairs either, like of my things that need to go up there, because we also have stuff that has to go in that back room that's not in there. That's, most of that stuff's up in my parents' room, which again too, we can't bring down really and put in there because Jack's gonna be in there and most of his stuff, but most of my stuff's also gonna have to be in there. And like I said, guys, this is sort of what's stressing me out right now in trying to get both rooms done at the same time. And then also too though, before they do the floors, we have to move me out of here because we have to paint. And I think we're gonna paint before they do the floors again, just because if anything drips on the floors, we don't have to like fix it or like put, you know, we'll put drop cloths down, but if like something really bad happens, you would hate to do that on brand new finished flooring and then have to basically get a sander and do the whole process all over again if you can't get it up. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna try and paint before they do the floors, which is what we did in the other room, and it worked out. Like, you know, again too, there was no problems with, like, you know, again, the painting prior to the floors being done. But anyways, like I said, the fact that we just both have to be out of our rooms both at the same time is very stressing me out, because like it was a little bit easier because, like, again too, my parents were able to stay in their room until the whole upstairs was done, and then we moved them, and like Jack was in his own room with his stuff basically, because he went from having the upstairs, which was the family room and his bedroom at the same time, to being condensed to basically just a bedroom, and all his stuff fit pretty much. I mean, he does have a little bit of stuff in the attic, like some posters and things like that he wasn't going to put up anyway right now, but like again too, there's some things like that. Like, I don't know where my stuff is gonna go, because like Jack, basically the amount of space that he had before upstairs was like what he was moved into anyway. I'm moving into the living room with all of my stuff. I don't know, like I have books, there's stuff under my bed, and my bed is raised like probably over a foot. I've got a twin size mattress plus a foot worth of stuff underneath my bed. You know, like that's the amount of space, and it's like there's boxes and things like that that are like underneath there, and you know, so I'm this is gonna stress me out so much. I don't know why it's easy for me to like organize and move other people's things and be like, okay, like we're gonna get this process, like it'll be really easy, like we'll just load some of your stuff up, like the ease, you know, the stuff that you need access to, we'll make sure is in, you know, like the close bin. Like I haven't moved since I was out of this house since I was 5 years old. That was when we moved in here. So I've not really been involved in like the moving process of myself. I've been involved in other people's moving processes and like that kind of stuff. And again too, even moving bedrooms, like, you know, when you have to like vacate the bedroom and then have to, you know, like I said, other than when I painted the room, I did that and was able to move all my stuff and then, you know, move. But the thing was that I moved upstairs with Matthew and Jack for that like 1 week while we painted this room. And again too, they had the family room upstairs. It was their bedroom and the family room. So there was enough space for me and my stuff. And then there's like not anymore. Like there's nowhere to really put me and my stuff and Jack at the same time. So like I said, it's also too more the furniture, I think, is what I'm also stressing out about, because I'm like, I don't know how to where to move some of the stuff to. Like my desk, I don't know if my desk will even fit in the living room because it's an L desk. So I'm like, we'll have to take it apart. And like I said, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We have to figure it out, but it's not gonna be fun to do that. So like I said, some stuff might have to be stored upstairs. A lot of it's gonna have to be in the living room. And again too, like I said, hopefully it's like a week, maybe 2 at most, but we have to kind of know like the exact, like, okay, you know, it might come down to where it's like, okay, this day everything has to get out of there, you know. And that's even more stressful, instead of being like, okay, like I have like 2 or 3 days to kind of like pack things up and move furniture and like that kind of stuff. It's like, no, I might know like, okay, you know, we're gonna come on Monday and do it. And I'm like, okay, I have to figure out by Monday where I'm gonna put all this. Not this Monday, but I don't know, it's just stressing me out. And then the other like project type things that have to be done, the electrical that has to be done, the, you know, like that's the stuff that we're gonna do in the room, and the painting and that kind of thing. Like, so it's just, there's I normally can like find the way things are gonna work out, you know, like, oh, it's okay, we'll move this stuff and we'll do that and this will work out, and you know, that kind of thing, right? I can't see how this is gonna work out or where this stuff is gonna go. And I don't know if it's because it's my stuff or if it's just because I'm like, I don't know. I like, you know, at one point we had space, and it seems like even though we have more space than we did when we were doing the renovation project upstairs, for some reason it feels like there's less space. Like, again too, I can steal space kind of in my mom's office, like to store things for the time being, but like I also don't know where some of the stuff is gonna go. Like I just, oh goodness guys. Yeah, anyways, like I said, that's the update. The floors are done, which is awesome, and we can start moving things and moving on. But it's also like, I'm like, wait, maybe we don't want to move on. Maybe we just want to wait for a while, because the thought of getting stuff more, you know, like chaos, it's gonna be chaos. Like that's what it's gonna be while we're trying to get on to the next project. So and through this next part of the project is gonna be probably, at least for me too, because like I said, I will be displaced, is gonna be chaos. So anyways, I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog, let you guys know how everything is going with all of the project stuff, because that will be a lot coming in the next probably handful of days, weeks. And so and like I said, updates on what the floors and the rooms and the colors and all that kind of stuff look like as well. But as of right now, I'll see you guys all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love it if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.